Bakersfield Ward 2 City Council Member Andrae Gonzales, thank you so much for joining us for this interview.
Thank you.
You're launching your bid for the 35th Assembly District here in California. Let's just start with why we're meeting here in Delano. Why did you invite us out here for the interview?
Well, Delano is the second largest city in county of Kern, and it is an important city. It is an area where we have many hardworking men and women, hardworking families who are really the epitome of the American dream, trying to afford a home, trying to make ends meet. I am so honored to be here in the city of Delano and get to know it better. As you know, I've been a city council member in Bakersfield for 8.5 years, and it's been an honor to serve the city of Bakersfield. And I know almost every single street and alleyway like the back of my hand. And I know the neighborhoods that I represent and many other neighborhoods throughout the city. And it's important for me, if I want to be a leader throughout the district, that I know the entire district as well as I know the city of Bakersfield. And that's why I'm here. It's not going to be my last time. I'm practically considering moving here because I want to know it intimately. I want to know people well. I want to understand the needs of the community, and I want to learn from people here in Delano.
So it starts early for you.
Absolutely.
And like you said, you have been a longtime city council member. Ward 2, the downtown ward, you are quite literally the face of it, Andrae, as we have discussed multiple times. What does that transition from the hyper-local level to state level look like for you? I feel like in some ways it's not easy per se.
Well, I appreciate the recognition of some of the progress that we're making and some of the work that we've done to address some of the pressing needs facing the city of Bakersfield. Bakersfield's the 9th largest city. There are many concerns, and in the ward that I represent, the issues compound themselves. Everything from chronic poverty to disinvestment in some of our oldest neighborhoods to homelessness to a decline in the downtown area and a lack of investment over a period of 30-40 years. All of those issues I've tried to address along with my colleagues on the council, along with many other business leaders and other community stakeholders for years. And we've made incremental progress. We've made a lot of great strides in some cases. But through it all, and through my time as a trustee on the Bakersfield City School Board over 6 years, working to fight for children and families in Bakersfield City School District, through all of that work, through the last 15 years, there's been a through line in that the state of California has had a heavy influence in the work that we do and the issues that we're trying to resolve. Sometimes in a positive way, and sometimes in a very negative, harmful way. And so it becomes an issue that frustration for me at times when we know, and I know, that Sacramento can do so much more to help us address some of the most chronic, pressing issues that are facing our neighborhoods, that cities are fighting hard to try to address these issues. With homelessness, for example, with affordable housing is another example, but they can't do it alone. Cities are on the front lines. And I've been on the front lines of these issues over time, but the front line needs some support, it needs some backup. And I'm committed to running because I believe that we need an effective advocate who represents Kern County, who understands Kern County's needs, and wants to fight for Kern County, wants to put Kern County first in Sacramento.
What are your priorities, Andrae, and how do you do that? How do you, amid all the other state legislators and senators that are working to do the same for their community, how do you prioritize Kern once you make it up to Sacramento?
It's a great question, because it's a question that I've had to ask myself. How do you accomplish things when you don't work alone, right? Not one of us has all of the administrative authority on the city council. I've had to work with 6 other colleagues. Now, of course, in the state assembly, there are far more people, elected people, that one would have to negotiate with and work with, and a lot of other special interests. We know that. That's politics, that's a reality. But I also know that for too long, Kern County has got the short end of the stick. We have our older brothers, the Bay Area and in the LA, Southern California area, our big brothers who seem to have a seat at the table and kind of nudge us out. Well, I grew up in a family with 5 siblings, And I know a thing or two about nudging my way in. I was a middle child. And so I want to make sure that we have the same strategy, the same grit, same fight, so that we can articulate the unique needs and challenges of Kern County in Sacramento. And so part of that is relationship building, part of that is being nuanced, but part of that is also standing up and speaking up and being not afraid to being an independent voice for our region. And when you ask me what my priorities are, number one is to grow and diversify our local economy. We know that we're facing so many challenges when it comes to, with respect to our region and good paying jobs. When 20% of the people in Kern County are living in poverty, when only 1 in 3 people actually have good paying jobs that actually can sustain themselves, right? Can actually meet the needs of their daily life. That's unacceptable. You know, the B3K initiative cited the need for over 100,000 good paying jobs for this region in order for us to reduce that number to 50% of people who were below the poverty line. That is something that we are going to have to really focus in on and get serious about over the next few years. We are in a critical crisis when it comes to our economic mobility, our opportunity for people to actually have high quality jobs, and we need to get straight to work. And if there's anything that I hope I've demonstrated as a council member over the last 8.5 years, as a city school board member for 6 years, if there's anything, it's just that I am very serious about getting to work and just focusing on the issues and being very pragmatic and practical and getting things done for people.
I think when it comes to other issues, you've been really outspoken about obviously homelessness, like you mentioned, but also revitalization of downtown. I feel like that topic comes up so much. Also economic grant opportunities for small local businesses. When it comes to any of those topics, what's something you feel like you've delivered for Bakersfield that could also be translated at the state level?
Well, you know, the work is never done, right? And so one of the things that I'm very, very proud of, number one, is the work that we've done to support small business owners and entrepreneurs launching their business through our support of the Bakersfield College Launchpad Initiative, through our Economic Opportunity Area Program. Hundreds of businesses have been given opportunities to meet their needs, and so that they can actually start a new business. I've also launched and helped lead the Prosperity Neighborhood Initiative that really looks at how do we, instead of just focusing on the needs of poverty, which are necessary to focus on, right? The service delivery, the emergency response of those who are experiencing poverty. We also have to focus in on developing tangible, real strategies to move people out of poverty and into the middle class. How do we get them into skilled job training programs? How do we get them into educational opportunities? How do we get them into a small business grant program so that they can build wealth, they can build equity, and actually move and prosper into the middle class? How do they create opportunities to own their own home? The other thing that I'm very proud of is the Bakersfield Community Land Trust. This is an initiative that we launched 2 years ago. We put and set aside $6.5 million to invest in this independent nonprofit organization that is now building nearly 20 homes in Southeast Bakersfield and Southeast Bakersfield that will be available for first-time home buyers. In the future, we will expand upon that and have more homes built in Southeast Bakersfield, so that we're focusing on infill development, revitalizing neighborhoods that haven't seen the investment for quite some time, and then also, most importantly, we're giving access to home ownership to people who have been perpetual renters and people who finally have an opportunity to succeed, to actually own their own home, build some wealth, and hopefully build some equity or pass that asset along to their children or grandchildren in the future. That's the American dream that people still have, and that's one of the saddest things that I see in Bakersfield and in Kern County, frankly, is that American dream is escaping so many of our families. When Bakersfield used to be the one place in California, one of the few places in California, where working families can afford a home, to buy a home. That is changing. Our home prices have almost doubled in 10 years. That's a big concern. And so the community land trust is something I'm very proud of, but we have to do more. And so as a state assembly member, this is going to be a priority of mine. I want to see how we can create additional pathways to help many more families enter home ownership and gain access to the middle class.
You've given a lot of time and energy to the city. Why did you feel like 2026 was your year to jump into the 35th Assembly District race? Because it is a race you did consider and announce your candidacy for in the last election cycle, and ultimately you took a step back, ran for re-election. So why this year? What makes this year different? Is your campaign any different? Have you come back a stronger candidate?
Yeah, nothing is different. It's the same vision for our community and the same hope for our region that we work collaboratively with many stakeholders at the local level and at the state level to build a prosperous region, a thriving region where all of our cities are safe and they're healthy and children have good schools. That vision remains, has always remained. And it doesn't, frankly, take me being an assembly member for me to help fulfill that vision. I will do whatever I can, no matter what position I'm in, whether it be city council member, a school board member, or just a volunteer. I will continue to fight for my community, for this region, in any shape or form that I'm afforded an opportunity to do so. And so this opportunity with Dr. Baines running for Congress has opened the seat up, and it's an open seat. I want to give it a shot and offer my services and offer my leadership for this assembly district.
Any conversation with Dr. Baines about your desire to be her successor here?
That's a great question. You know, she and I have spoken intermittently over the last couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to having further conversations with her in the future.
We have to talk about your successor as well. Like we were saying earlier, it's Andrae Gonzales is a known figure in Bakersfield, so I feel like it could be difficult for someone to try to replace you and take on after you. So do you have anyone in mind when it comes to a new Ward 2 council member?
One thing about me is I like to take things step by step, and I like to focus in on the issue ahead of me and then address issues, subsequent issues thereafter. Clearly, that thought has entered my mind, and I'm thinking through exactly what we're going to do and how we find a good successor and how I can be an asset to help prepare somebody to take on that role. I'll tell you, Ward 2 is probably the most diverse ward, and it probably has some of the most pressing challenges, just given the size and the density and the history and how old the infrastructure is. So there's just a lot going on in the urban core, which is a good thing. And so it really requires somebody who's going to commit themselves a lot of nights and weekends and really has a huge heart to do the work, because as you know, as some of your viewers know, being on the city council is a volunteer position. You do not get paid for it. And so what really has driven me for 8.5 years as a volunteer city council member is the love for my city. And I know some people are going to say, that's political talk, that's nonsense, baloney. But I don't know how else to demonstrate it but through my actions and through my work, and I'm hoping that people can see that the proof is in the pudding, and the work and my history, my track record hopefully counts for something. Ultimately, it's been a huge honor to serve the people of Bakersfield in the role that I've played, and I hope that I've provided leadership not just for Ward 2 but for all of Bakersfield and help moving our city forward. And my hope is that if given this opportunity, I could extend my leadership to help provide support and really get behind city council members, not just in Bakersfield, but in Delano and Shafter, in Wasco and Arvin. There's a lot of amazing city council members and mayors out there in our county right now who are fighting the good fight for their respective cities, who are trying to do the best that they can do given the resources that they have and given the challenges in front of them. They have huge hearts for their community and huge pride. I've had an opportunity to talk to many of them over the last couple of weeks and getting their perspective. And it's just so heartwarming to see the level of leadership that we have among many of our city council members and mayors throughout Kern County.
So that's just what campaigning is going to look like for you over the next year or so, just interacting with not just Bakersfield now, but all of Kern County and the cities AD-35 covers.
My goal is to know the district as well as I know Ward 2, and to be as involved, as engaged as I can throughout the entire district. In my heart of hearts, I'm a public servant. You know, I first fell in love with this idea of public service at 6 years old, and throughout my early childhood, watching my dad, who was a community college counselor at Bakersfield College for 37 years, and he helped navigate the very complex and sometimes scary higher education system for so many first-time college-going students. And you know, today I get to meet so many people throughout the community who say, "I knew your dad. He helped me get books. He helped me get a scholarship. He walked me to class." And those things really inspire me. The fact that he was literally, you know, step by step, person by person, helping people find their pathway towards prosperity, towards reaching their own goals and dreams. And that has really driven me all throughout my life. It was an honor to be his son. I lost him 10 years ago. It was an honor to be his son, and I'm hoping that that I have the opportunity to demonstrate who I am to so many others beyond Bakersfield.
Councilmember Gonzales, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck with your campaign. Anything I missed that you want to make part of your campaign announcement here?
Tonight we're going to announce the press release, and we have over 50 leaders in Kern County who have already endorsed the campaign. This includes city council members from different cities, mayors, folks who have been instrumental in leading Kern County for decades. And so it's such an honor to have that commitment from so many individuals already. And I'm just really excited to get to work.
Starting off very strong already. Thank you again so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.